All right, good morning everyone. So today we're going to work on the house. Let's see if we can get a good image of it. Adjust the time a little bit here. Yeah, the sun's still not at a great angle to get a good shot of where we're at with the house so far, but that's okay. We'll live with that. Now, we do have the first floor in the basement done. So today we need to work on the second floor and the attic up here. I want to get the walls up, get some rooms actually established, and then maybe next week we'll work on general detailing. So the first thing I need to do is actually get the blocks that I was using. So let's see. We're doing wood blocks. I don't think that was it. I think it's that one. 71. Grab that. And we'll just check. Is that? Yeah, that's 71. Perfect. Now, what were we doing for the walls? That's another one entirely. That I believe was, nope, still block bench. Planks, I think it was under. Wasn't it? No, it wasn't. Really? That was under wood blocks. Oh yeah, there it is. Okay. I would have expected it to be in planks. Now, we're also using that as well as that. And I might change these up a little bit. I've been catching up on Radio Man's Rising World videos, and I really like a lot of what he's done with his house. So I may borrow some ideas from him. But right now, let's work on getting the basics set up for our rooms. So up here, let me check the attic real quick. Yeah. Okay. So I think the attic will be like the kids area. There'll be smaller bedrooms, a playroom, things like that. Here on the second floor, this would be the more adult members of the family. This would be where they would reside. So let's say, we haven't really decided exactly how many people should be here, which wasn't such a big deal until we can suddenly create people. Now we should probably think about that. We're going to want to do a railing around here too. And I think, let's see, it's a good spacing because I'm thinking the hallway will go right past here. So if we come out 5, let's put a marker there, right? Yep. And let's put another one over here. There we go. Now, how wide should our hallway be? 3 looks a little too narrow to me. 4, I think 4 is good. I think 4 is good. So, giving us a spacing of 4. And the nice thing about being in creative mode is that I can work out all my spaces here, all my edges. And then I can go back and just break up the blocks because I'm not going to need all of them to stay here. So, like this right here. I have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Our hallway will continue that way. And the same thing over here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And you can use the crowbar a couple different ways. This is actually another thing that I learned from watching Radio Man because I haven't really played with the crowbar a whole lot. Is that by just, let's see here. Let's grab something that's a better demonstration piece. We'll just make that real quick. And I'm going to pull that down. Let's put one there and one there real quick. So if you use the left mouse button and just hit it, you just break it like you would with anything else. But if you use the right mouse button, it actually picks it back up. You can see that little notification on the screen that I now have another wood plank. So, FYI, that is how to use the crowbar. Now, another thing to think of, this is going to be there. We're going to want a window here. But I'm not sure exactly how big of a window we should put in. So we're going to put just a little bit of wall there. And then we're not going to worry too much about that, except that we're not going to fill that in. We're going to remember that we are coming back to that later to decide what our window will look like. There's one wall, two walls, and I'm sorry you guys are probably going to be able to hear the furnace kicking on, but winter's not really over here, so it will do that from time to time, and it is very noisy, so I do apologize for that. I think this is going to be all one solid wall here. I don't really think you'd want a door opening right out into this area. That just doesn't feel... It doesn't feel like good designing to me. So we're not going to do that. Now, let's see. I think we should go one more. And then we'll put the first doorway right there. Going up again. There we are. So that would be doorways into rooms that would be here on the other side of this wall. All right. Now, how big would these be? Let's kind of split this in half if we can. See what kind of length we have here. 27. So, 15. Make sure I can count. Yeah. So we'll have central wall right here. I want to switch back to these real quick. Put those in. We'll worry about the other side in a little while. And because these are rooms for the adults, so to speak, they are going to be a bit larger. I do want to be careful not to try and make them too large because I do want to have several rooms up here. So I don't want to go overboard and run out of space. Sorry, coffee is very important. If I go back, how's that look for a room? I think that looks good. I think that's good in terms of spacing. Let's put that in this. And when we come back, this is going to be kind of a very broad strokes day. Getting the rooms put in, finished, windows, doors, general floor plan layout, basically. Not a whole lot of details, although if I have time, I do want to get the banister put up around the stairs. I would like to get to that today if possible. And then I'm thinking that the next one, next week, will be details. We'll go back and start putting in details like actual furniture, decorations, things like that. Depending on time, we may end up doing the house one week and then the bunkhouse the next week, unless it goes faster than I think and I can detail both buildings in one stream, which would be kind of nice. All right, so there's 2 rooms. Let's see here. I'm thinking that this area on both sides could almost be more of an open common area. How much space do we have left here? We have 29. That's enough for 2 more rooms on each side. Unless we could make it so that they're a little bit bigger, because we should have a master bedroom, bathroom kind of thing. I just hesitate to make this be one big room. That seems like overkill. That really does seem like overkill. But then the bathroom would be pretty big. So we do that. Let's do that. So, let's see. Let's go up. And then let's make, say here. Have that be our doorway. That's far enough, kind of like away from everything, that we have space for a bathroom. I think the bathroom will go on the inside wall, because you don't really want a bathroom to have windows. It's not really terribly appealing, at least not in my mind. So I think the bathroom should be on the inner wall, and then we can have really nice big windows for our bedroom here. And I think I'll do the same thing on the other side, and maybe instead of leaving this area open, I'll turn that into a couple small rooms. So like one master bedroom would be for like the plantation owner and his wife, and another could be, I don't know, like the mother-in-law suite, kind of. So, yeah. Except let's make this a little bit smaller. And we'll do more of a public bathroom there. Actually, we could do something a little bit interesting with our architecture here. Yeah. Let's experiment. Let's experiment and have a little bit of fun with this. So that up. That's up. Up. And I could just use F6 to add the blocks in, but yeah. Sometimes it's nicer to have a little bit more control over where they're going, because that's really, that add tool is really for very large areas that are all going to be, how do I want to put this? Basically, that are all going to be even. It's best for that. Not so much for areas that are going to have some corners and some irregularities. Let's get that in. Just going to fill in this whole wall here. There we are. Alright. Across. Perfect. And then I do have to also decide where the staircase is going to be, going up. I haven't decided that yet. Now, let's go ahead and come across from here for our bathroom. Oops, that's 2. That would be 3. Yep. Excellent. Oh, look, the sun is going down. We're going to have to fix that in just a moment. Just a moment. Or a few moments. depending on how you want to think about that. Oh. All right, so that's going to be our bathroom, in which case I'm going to, well, you know what? Maybe I won't completely close it in. Let me think about this for a minute, because we could have windows very high up. After all, we're on the second floor. The odds of anyone actually being able to climb up here and see us are, you know, pretty much non-existent. Let's just do some smaller windows up here. What's our spacing on that? 6? Yeah, okay. So we'll just do some smaller windows up here where, like, nobody's going to be able to see in. I think that'll work out perfectly. Coffee is a wonderful thing. I tell ya, I wouldn't be able to live without it. Okay. Now these we're really going to want to be able to see out of a bit more. So we're going to have those be a little bit lower here. Kind of close in the top area just a bit. Do we want, what did we do downstairs? Do we want tall windows? Kind of like tall, narrow? Oops. Let's go ahead and fix our time of day to something a little bit better. Okay, the front windows don't really count. Those are really decorative. So we did, yeah, we did 3. 3 by 2 is really what we did in a lot of these. So I do want to kind of keep a consistent look to our windows. So that should be good. And let's see, we've got 20. Let's see how well this will work. I do want to have some spacing between the windows. Fearless, are you okay? You okay? You don't sound good, baby girl. You don't. My poor dog, she's starting to show her age, so she's having some problems, but she's not letting it slow her down too much, so that's good. She doesn't appear to be terribly unhappy about anything. Do we do a large central window there? That would look good, especially if we could try and do some extra detailing outside to improve the appearance. I have a big picture window there, sort of. Yeah, I think we'll leave it and do that. Okay, I got caught up in the windows and wasn't thinking about the fact that I need to actually finish off the rooms. Okay, so these are 7 wide. So let's go all the way down. And thinking that this could be 2 rooms. Oops, this works better if I do this. So 33. I do that. And then I don't really want the doors to be to match. Like, I don't want you to be able to look from one room into the other. So we'll do that. And then, oh. And then I haven't really decided yet exactly what I want to do about these hallway areas. Something decorative, but I don't know if I want it to really truly match what we did downstairs or not. So think about that for a bit. We will think about that for a bit. And if anyone has any ideas, by all means, let me know. But we're just going to kind of leave that alone for a little bit. We've got some other stuff to do. We can come back to that later. Okay. So yeah, let's leave that for that window. What are we going to do in here? I don't really want a window that wide. We'll do that. And then close that up. Okay. Let's see. It would be kind of cool if you could make really small holes in the wall. You know, like siblings poking a hole in the wall so they can talk to each other. That would be kind of neat. But that's okay. That's okay. We can't do that. And that's fine. All right. So we've got those two rooms here. Let's make our rooms here. Wait. There we go. All right. And to anyone just joining in, welcome. Glad to have you along. We're working on finishing off the second floor and the attic of the house today. Just kind of getting the rooms set. Kind of left it very unfinished, jumping around to other projects. Come on. So today's going to be very much a broad strokes day, just going through, getting these rooms finished up, and having the house kind of completely enclosed. Instead of, we had the first floor and the basement done, and then the attic was enclosed, but the second floor was just kind of completely open. So we're gonna fix that today and have the house look a little bit more complete. And then gonna see how much time we have. It would be nice to be able to get to the porch today as well. Oops, that's not what that's supposed to do. I do still want that wraparound porch that I was talking about at the very beginning when I started this project. I really do like the idea of a wraparound porch. So I do want to do that. And then, of course, you know, the porch is going to have railings and the top's going to have to be covered. So I'm thinking that, oops, make a doorway here. Forgot about that for a minute. I'm thinking that that's going to be a plank and beam project, because I do enjoy working with the blocks. They let you do a lot of things very easily, but there are some things that you just can't quite get the look that you're going for without using the planks and beams. So I like using a combination. I think that that works really well. And I was saying earlier that I've been watching a lot of Radio Man's videos. And that's what he's doing in a lot of them. He's using a combination of, or a lot of them, that's what he's doing in his house, is he's using a combination of planks and beams. And I really like the look that he has going. It's really very awesome. So I'm planning on borrowing a few ideas from him in some of the details and design work that I want to do for this house. Coffee. Gotta love that coffee. All right, so we want the bathroom on the inside wall. How wide do we want the bathroom to be? Is that looks narrow. That looks narrow to me. What if I do this? That looks better. That looks better because I want to actually put in, like, obviously, you know, the toilet, the sink, but I want, for one thing, I want a double sink, and I want to make a shower. Obviously, you know, it's not going to work, but I want it. I think that we need that. for the overall appearance. I don't think that it would look right without it. So got to kind of plan for that. Think about how much room we're going to need for it. Let's see. I think our door should go kind of in the middle because I'm thinking like the vanity here, double sinks, cabinets. I wonder if I can put the small crate underneath the sink. I bet I can. All right, cool idea. Not right now though. Yeah, so I think right here would be a good, or no, because if your vanity is here, that's going to be a shower or a tub, depending. Kind of means your toilet's going to be in here. You don't really want that to be the first thing you see when you walk in. Let's do that instead. Right there. Oops. Yeah, I think that's a better spot. Yeah, wait. Now that I think about that. But I'm kind of notorious for that. I'll change my mind constantly about where I want stuff to go and how it's going to look and all of that. That's one thing that I really enjoy about being in creative mode, is that I can do that. I can just completely change my mind about what I'm doing, and it's not a problem. So, windows. See how much space we've got here. 15. Okay. Right. Some windows going here. Probably going to end up with the center windows, maybe. We'll see. No, we're not, because we're just going to end up with... All right, that side's going to end up with just a wider piece in the middle. And let's see how this goes. I am trying to keep them somewhat symmetrical. I do want some actual symmetry here. I want it to look... Oh, look, that all matches. Awesome. But I want it to look nicely thought out, planned out, all of that. And I am realizing that I still haven't put in the stairs to the upper level. So we're gonna have to do that real quick. And we haven't left ourselves a whole lot of room, so that'll be a fun thing. How wide is this hallway? Bingo. All right. So how do I want to do this? How do I want to do this? Do I have planks that look somewhat? That looks nice. Those, ooh, let's try it. I don't know how well this is going to work, anything like that, but we're going to give this a shot. So, first off, our spacing here, we're going to do that. I'm going to help myself out a little bit here. So, now let's make sure that we fit. We're going to turn the grid on. Yep, that's the one that I want. Okay. That goes through a little bit, but not a horrible amount. And honestly, yeah, these are going to have to be shorter as well. So let's, like that, let's say. A little bit more. Like, about like that. Right? Yeah, I think that'll work. Oh, it's going to have to be a bit wider. Okay. So we're going to have to come up, and then we're going to have to turn here. So we're going to take those out. Oops. Let's do this one first, if it'll let us. Oops, that's right. That's right. Let's get rid of the grid. No. Did I get myself stuck here? I did. There we go. And we're unstuck. All right. There we go. Okay. Now we'll get rid of these. I'm going to need to make this a little bit smaller again. About like that, I think, is where I had it, roughly, right? Does that look about? Yep. About right. Up. Up. This is going to go like right above their heads here. Let's start taking out ceiling blocks. And I might be able to do another stairway like this down at the other end of the hall. We'll see. We will see. Okay. And of course, this section of it is so very long because we made the first section so very short. So now we're kind of paying for that. Okay. Okay. All right. Now, I will, of course, have to go back later. And, whoops, let's get that out of our hand. I'm going to shore these up. Oh, that didn't... Yeah, that was not right. All right, which means these are going to be out of alignment. Go. There. There. And doing it with the grid alignment that I'm using does mean that your stairs end up being rather long because it's one of the larger grids. But what I'm looking for is that ability to run up and down the stairs without actually having problems. Hansen, hello, welcome. How are you doing today? Now I'm also going to need banisters around here. Okay. We'll work on that momentarily. Let's actually, before we start working on other rooms, let's go down to the other end. See if we can replicate this stairwell. Except that, now I don't want the windows at the ends of the hallway. Or I don't, well, maybe I do, I just don't want them quite like that. Maybe I want them more like that. Yeah. A little bit smaller. All right, let's go down to the other end. See if we can replicate this. Good, good. Let's see. I think I went up by 2 on that one. Where that ended up being. There we go. Okay. Ooh, this is going to make the entrance to their room, or to the bathroom here, difficult. Maybe let's change that. Let's have the entrance to the bathroom be over here. Still want that too. Maybe I don't. No, I do. I still want that spacing there. Changing my mind again. It's a constant thing. So last week, Hansen, it was your daughter who was visiting, right? How did that go? Was that a good time? Did you have a lot of fun? Okay, make that a little bit better. Those are a little bit wider. Okay. So, I don't want the stairs to start right next to the bathroom. Let's have them start here. And see how far up can I really go. I think it's like about there. And then I'm going to have to turn. So, there. Hey, stop the jitteriness. It's almost a little easier to do this from a lower level. My alignment's off because my window is off. This should be 2 and should still have enough room. Oh, wow. You've got a lot of family stuff going on right now. Let's see. Why did I space the other one the way that I did? It had something to do with the wall being there. Awesome. Well, what are you making for dinner? Right there. And then I just need to take out 2 more blocks. And that can go right there. Okay. Oops. Losing light again. There we go. That's better. Okay. Take a look at this. Can I can bring this further back. Ooh, that does sound good. I think, let's see. Let's go look at this real quick. I really do want them to look the same. I mean, legitimately. All right, so that would be 1 below. Unless I bring this down, which I could do. Do that. Let's try that, because then that's 2 below, which is what the other one is. So we'll just have to redo our stairs here real quick. Changing things all the time. Changing things all the time. All right. So take out that one. Yeah. Well, and it seems like the bakery is the easiest thing to start with. So, oops. At least with the starting that I chose. There we go. Now, I need to go 1 more out. Okay. There. Now the stairs should look the same. I mean, they come up from different sides, so that's That's different. But I don't think that's too bad. Let's see. Now, we need children's rooms, a nursery, a playroom. Let's take that down. All right. It's almost worthwhile to have a narrower hallway right next to the stairwells because it would be harder to keep kids away from them. So if you really kind of restricted that access, that would probably make it easier to keep an eye on the little buggers. So let's do that. Because kids have a nasty habit of being able to actually, like, go through railings or climb over them. So from a safety perspective, this would be a better option. And our roofing is going to be interesting the way we did this, although, let's see, there was something that I was going to do for I was going to reverse the ramps. That's what it was. Let's grab some of those. I think it's this one. Yeah, that looks like the one. Ramp. There we go. So I'm gonna I'll put up all the walls, and then where they don't go up, because they'll meet some of these things, and then where they don't, I'm gonna put ramps in. So like this is obviously, it's gonna come up, meet that. But then I'm gonna have the hallway kind of broaden out. We can have playrooms closer to the hallways, and then the children's rooms more along the inside. Maybe that'll work. We'll see. Come on. Let's get all the way up there. Never mind, we're gonna fly. Flying just makes things so much easier. So very much easier. There we go. Lady De Winter is discovering that flying is making things easier too, I think. Ah, yes, but I own the only bakery in town. And I own the only flour mill in town. So, it's going to be very difficult for another baker to come into town. Okay. There we have that. Let's see here. So I think we're going to have... That'll come over a couple. That'll come out a bit. We'll have an entrance here. And that'll come out a little bit more. I can go in. Oh. All the way up too. It's going to be a lot of fun doing the detailing in the house and the bunkhouse when I get to that stage. So I am looking forward to that. But yeah, today's just going to be broad strokes, finishing the rooms, and maybe getting some work done on the porch, because I do want that to be a wraparound porch. So that's gonna take some work. Okay. We're gonna be flying for that. There we are. Okay. Yeah, and I haven't, the being a thief part is like, wow. So we get to make moral decisions in this game too. But I haven't tried starting on the hardest setting where it's like, you're basically a beggar. You have a backpack and a few little trade goods, I think. So I can see maybe if you start from there, you might end up as a thief before too long. Okay. Ooh, let's go do the same thing on this side. Yeah, this is the one that's going to go up. That's going to go over and then up. Right. There we go. So lovely being able to just fly. If only I could do this in real life. Like, it's okay. I don't need a ladder. I'll just levitate. There we are. And I don't know if anybody else knows this, but when you're flying, like the spacebar will bring you up and then control will bring you down. Just a little FYI if nobody's discovered that or, you know, paid enough attention to the controls. I don't know if they actually tell you, if Red actually tells you in the controls menu that, you know, hey, if you want to do this, do it this way. There we are. Oops. Alright, I think we might be able to turn fly mode off now. Sometimes it's difficult to fly and place things, especially in smaller spaces. Okay. Alright, so that came over 2. What did I do on this one? How far did I come out? Let's go see. Let's go see. So I came out 12. It's not a bad sized room. I think 12 is good. That's good. Of course, these are kids' rooms, so they're going to be smaller. Go. There. That'll work. There we go. All right. Not really sure, like, I was thinking that I wanted a nursery, but I'm not entirely sure how to really make it seem like a nursery, because our options for that are kind of non-existent. I really would like to see more furniture added to the game. Just some things to give it a little bit more depth. I can guarantee you right here and now, I'm not building a rocking chair. That's just not going to happen. And I'm trying to do this without actually taking any blueprints from the forums. So I want to actually pull this off all with stuff that I've actually made. So that's going to be challenging. Not really sure how good I'm going to be at making children's toys. I think probably not very. All right, so we should probably have one bathroom up here. Yeah, I think one is going to be good. Let's see how much space we have here. We could put the bathroom over here. I think we might be able to put 2 more rooms by it. Because this is, it's 42. That's a lot of space. So let's not do that. Let's see. I think the bathroom should kind of be in the middle. I am also thinking, let's come all the way over. There we are. That look different. Oh. I don't know. Let's see this. Actually, first off, let's take that all the way up. Let's take that all the way up. Yeah. Now, let's see this. Okay. And then turn this around. But I have a problem with that. That's going to make it difficult to this, isn't it? Yep, that's going to make it hard to do that because those corners are not going to look right. If I did that, oh, it doesn't stay where you put it. No, that's still not really going to look right. That all the way along here. I don't know. I'm going to have to think about that. I don't know how I want to do that. I don't know how to make that look like it actually works together. That's not a very smooth area there. Whereas when it's just coming up to meet those, it looks fine. I don't know where I'm going to want that to come over, so I'm not going to do that yet. Those corners don't look fine. Oh well, I'm going to have to think about that. I don't know what I'm going to do. Okay, but before I start fiddling with that, although, you know, I probably could do it in here. That off in here. Go. It does look much better with the ramps inverted as well, so that it looks even. Nice sloped roof. There we are. That looks pretty good. I think I'll probably do... Let's do a window here. Obviously, we're not going to have windows down there. That's really kind of silly. It looks so good right there. And it does not up there. I don't know. Yes, I did. I'm up to one of his March uploads. So I'm almost caught up, actually. And I was saying earlier that I want to incorporate some of his design ideas because I really like some of the things that he did with his house. So I'm planning on borrowing a few of his ideas, just the way that he's incorporating the planks and beams with the blocks. I really like the way that's looking. So I want to utilize some of that and kind of see. Obviously, I'm not going to copy it. That would not be cool at all. But I am getting some good inspiration from watching his videos. Let's see. Where do we want our bathroom door? Let's put it here. There we go. Oh, this is a section of... No, that's not where I came over. there. Perfect. Yeah, I really do think one bathroom is gonna be good. We'll leave it at that. Well, thank you. Yeah, I know some of the German ones I've tried to watch them, but because I don't understand it, it's really hard for me to just watch the video. I really do prefer videos where I can actually understand the person, where they're talking. I think I get more out of it, especially with a game like Rising World, where I want to actually hear their thought process in a lot of ways, because I think that's helpful to kind of know why they decided to do something the way that they did, instead of just looking at the finished product and going, yeah, that's really cool. Oh, all right. I'm gonna put in doors too. Let's see. Have this be about like here. I don't really want the doors to be very centralized, so I'm kind of trying to offset them a little bit here. Oh, no. I want that. I want that. There we go. Oops, I might run into a problem here where I put ramps in up there. Let's see. Get these up. Lighting up here is going to be a little bit tricky because I don't have the windows. So I'm going to have to make sure that I have sufficient lighting. Okay, this might be... Yeah, this is where I put in those. Okay, we're gonna have to take those out real quick. Without, you know, putting holes in our roof. So, nothing like a challenge. There we go. That's better. That's much better. Very high ceilings in this place, that's for sure. All right. Not quite done over here. Not quite done. Let's see. Oh. Doorway. We're getting there. We're getting there. I am very happy with the way that this build overall is looking. Haven't finished planting all the crops yet. I've been working on that off camera. And then I do still need to go through and put in the rest of the pasture fencing. I started that a little bit, but I'm going to finish that off camera because it's really not the most fascinating thing in the world to watch fencing going in. And I do realize that the type of fencing that I'm putting in isn't really going to be terribly effective in terms of keeping animals in. And that's okay because I've decided that I would rather have it look good. I would rather have it look like authentic fencing, because I think that the metal grating at this point is the only thing that will actually keep animals from going through the fence. I think that's maybe the only thing that they can't go through. And that's just not really authentic fencing, so I'm not going to do it. The fencing will look authentic and not technically function. That's just the way it's going to be. Get that? Yay. Perfect. I was almost tempted to do skylights, but that just doesn't really, I don't think that really fits with everything else that we're doing. So we're going to pass on that. But I'm going to use skylights in a different build. So I'm going to fiddle with those a bit. Okay. Got one side up, except that I want this room down here to have a window too. Go, and I think these windows only really need to be the 2x2, not the taller 3x2 ones that we're doing downstairs. After all, they're kids' rooms. Oh, I don't think I've seen those. 2-hour plus videos. I wonder if there's somebody else on Twitch who streams Rising World, but he doesn't talk. If I could remember his name. I want to say it's Tom something or Town something that starts with a T, and I just cannot remember it right now. But he uploads videos and doesn't talk at all. Or he streams and doesn't talk. Let's see. How do I want to do this? How do I want to do this? Decisions. How many other rooms? So there should be a large playroom, I think. Let's do that kind of along here, because this is how wide will this be? I do this. That'll be 4. Yeah, this is fine. So that's probably good for a playroom. And then here, we're just going to come all the way across with this. There we go. Let's see. So a playroom, and then there should be another larger room that's a nursery. We'll do that there. There we go. And there we go. Back all the way up? Yes, it did. Good. Good. Okay, and then in the middle we'll have, does that look big enough for 3 bedrooms? I think that's big enough for 3 bedrooms, because they're kids' rooms, so it's not like they need a whole lot of space. And none of them are going to have a bathroom in them, so that's another space-saving feature. Oops. Where am I putting my door? Where am I putting my door? I think I'm putting my door right there. Actually, do that. There. That's where the door will go. All right, and then one's going to have some slightly better lighting over here. Let's kind of start. Wait, let's see. How wide is this? 20? Okay. Oh. Go in 3. And let's make the bigger windows in here because this is a much larger room. I did 3, right? Yes, I did 3. Wow. Okay. Got some good light in here. And I'll do the same with one on the other end too. So the playroom and the nursery are going to have larger windows to let in lots of light. There we go. Okay. Now we're going to fly again. So all the way up, all the way up. There we go. Okay. And it's really great that I could theoretically, like, spawn dummies in. Oops. Except that I can't spawn kids. That's not a thing so far. I'm hoping that it will be. That would be, whoa, really cool. What am I doing here? There we go. Okay. Right? Yeah. Then while we're in here, we'll just do this real quick. Start way up here. It would be pretty cool if I could spawn in kids at different stages. So I could spawn in like 2 adults to be nannies, and then say an infant and a couple of toddlers. And then in some of the other rooms I could put like some slightly older children. But yeah, no, we can't. That's wishful thinking at the moment. That's just totally wishful thinking. But it would be nice. I'm just saying. There we go. Okay. We might just end up having corners like this because the roof looks so much better with those than it does when I tried to do the smoother edges. That just doesn't look that good. Oh. Do I have any planks that match this? Horses first. Yes. Oh, I'm so excited. I am so excited about the horses. And I know we don't have a time frame on those yet, but I'm still so excited. That's going to be so much fun. So much fun. All right, 48. So if I do that, and then that brings this down to 5. If I do that, and then kind of cut this in half. Yeah. Sort of. I mean, they're not 100% accurate. That gets us some extra bedrooms up here. That actually ends up being 4 rooms, so that's good. Got plenty of space here. After all, I mean, back in the day, they had much bigger families because it used to be advantageous to have a lot of kids because you could make them work the farm for you. Okay. Get these filled in. We're going to be flying for this. And go all the way across. And as long as I'm up here, I will just take this straight across because we have this nice even edge here that we're doing. So we'll get that out of the way, nice and even. And we'll do the smaller ones. Okay. So the middle rooms are not going to have lights because, or they're not going to have windows. They're going to have lights. They're going to need lights. I can't decide if I want to use the modern lights or if I want to just do the lamps. The modern lights would probably make more sense. Just don't know. I feel like that would kind of ruin the look. So I think I might just go for maybe just the enclosed lamps. A little bit more of a polished look without getting too far away from the more, not exactly totally medieval, but maybe more colonial look that this is. because I don't feel like this is a very modern build. I think that it's more colonial. Kind of that nice little in-between spot between something that's actually medieval and something that's more modern. I think that colonial is probably the best description of where this feels, or maybe when this feels like it's taking place. Okay, outside wall's done. Now we have to go up. All right, let's come over first a few times. See how far we can get with that. And how are we doing? Oh, it's about 10:15. We're not doing too bad on time. Not too bad at all. Wasn't exactly sure how long this was all going to take me. There are a few small things that I want to do in addition to these much larger, broader strokes. Railings on the stairwell leading to the second floor. Of course, that wraparound porch. So hopefully, fairly confident that I can get to all of that. Oh. Up. Very far up. There we go. That go, yeah, that went all the way up. Good. Good, good. Very good. Okay. Yeah, the more I think about it, the more I like the idea of the enclosed lights. We're not really to the point where the modern lights feel appropriate. Okay. Get the other walls. Yep, that one's up. This one's next. Broaden this out a little bit here. Okay. So close. So close. All right, and I think once I get these two inner walls up, I'm going to take a short break. Got a dog over here that's been giving me the sad and pathetic puppy eyes for a while now, so he wants to go out. Okay. And of course I have an empty cup of coffee, so that needs to be addressed. I don't think there is actually any more coffee in the coffee pot though. Okay. Go, looking good. I'm delighted to say that our house is finally completely enclosed here. It looks a bit more realistic. Okay. I'm going to take that away too. That's going to be the next thing we're going to do. All right. I'm going to take a quick break here. I'm going to try and do something better with those stairs too. Okay. I'm going to take a quick break. I will be right back. All right. I'm back. Ooh, looks like it's gotten dark. Let's fix that. That set time feature is so handy. I did actually see Lady De Winter use that in her last stream, so that's pretty cool. She's branching out a little bit more. Not that it's not Not that it's a bad thing to work entirely in survival mode. And I have a lot of respect for people who do. I mean, that's a lot of work. But it's a lot of fun to work in creative mode. To be able to do whatever you want. And that way you can be, I think in creative mode you can be a little bit more fussy with what you're doing and how you're doing it. Versus in survival mode, you're, I think, a little bit more stuck with doing things a certain way just because you're in survival mode. You don't have the flexibility that you have when you're working in creative mode. Okay, so windows. Oh no, you know what? No. I'm gonna go ahead and do all of the roofing, then I'll come back and do the windows in that room. Get one thing done at a time. One thing done at a time. I'm terrible about that. I bounce between different things. And it's not just in the game. Like, this is how I am in reality. Bouncing between different projects. There are like 3 or 4 projects around my house that are about half done because I'll be in the middle of one project and all of a sudden it'll occur to me that, ooh, maybe I could do this other thing with this other project, and I'm off. Oh yeah, that should be the other way. Okay. Let's do the rest of them this way first before I rotate this. A little hard to do when you're clipping through the walls, but that's okay. We'll get it. We'll get it. Okay. Actually, I shouldn't say that my projects are half done. Some of them are more than half done. It's just that there's a lot of them. Some of them are close to being done. I'll get there eventually. Okay. Did I do? Yeah, I don't think I did the other room either. So I think I need to do that too. Yep. Not done yet. Oh, this looks so much better. Come on. There we go. Like, I know I can reach this last one before I have to fly. I know I can. The game's like, yeah, I don't know that you can. Like, no, I know I can. Cooperate. Do what I want. Do that one? I did. So it's just this one. Okay. Really? I thought I had more of these done. No, I don't. No, I don't. Delusional. Thinking that I'm making faster progress than I am. Okay. This is good though. I think I'll be able to get the porch done today too, which is awesome. All right. Turn this guy around and do this one up here. There we go. Did I get that one over here? I did. Okay. Just a few of these, but I don't have that done in yet. There we go. There. And here. Okay. All right. So, that wraps up our rooms up on this floor. Let's see. We need windows over here. I think I'm going to go ahead and put in windows and doors too. I finished that all off. Let's see about here. I was doing spacing of 3. Where? Take that out, and we're going to do 3 high again on this one. I wish you could resize the mattresses because then I could do like beds in the nursery that look a little bit more realistic. I could do bed frames as it is. I could make those out of planks and beams, but did I go that far in with the other one? Well, we're doing it with this one regardless, so. I don't know if I did that with the other one. And the spacing is slightly different between the different sides, so there is that too. Okay, now let's go see what I was doing. Do I want to change that? I think I do. Yeah. It just doesn't quite, that line there. Doesn't really look right. Let's fix that. Now, that out without taking out anything else. There we go. All right, that looks better. This one, no, it's got the ceiling here, and that, I think we're just, yeah, we're gonna leave that. That'll be fine. That'll be fine. I don't have window frames and anything here. Means I need to go downstairs. Still haven't decided what I'm doing with that window there. Have not reached that decision yet. Okay, so let's see. Those are the type of doors that we're doing. So let's make one of those. Doors. Yeah, that. And then the window frames. Those are the lighter ones that almost match the roof, don't they? Okay. That. That. Right? I think so. Yeah. Okay. All right. Have doors and window frames. Let's go put those in on both floors. Both floors, let's do this. And I want the doors opening in. In this case, opening into the wall is probably a little bit more realistic than anything else, because you wouldn't want it to open in here and block your room like that. That would be incredibly obnoxious. We didn't do windows in here. Get that. Bad me. Okay. What's our spacing like? 13. Let's snug that in a little bit. That's good. Now, we're going to need to make these bigger. So if I put it right there, stay. Do I want it to be broad or not? No, I think I want it to kind of go in a little bit. So I'll do the ones this size first, then I'll kind of come back and do the ones that are the other size. And then one of the things that I was seeing Radio do on his was window trim and door frames and the edging and everything. Oh my gosh. That looks incredible. I'm just not... I don't know about that. That's a lot of work. I was saying how much work it was. So I don't know. I don't know that I want to do that. Maybe the window trim. Maybe I'll do that. Yeah, I don't have windows on that side. That's fine. I'm kind of thinking that, like, he did baseboards and everything, which look amazing. His house just looks great that he's made. I'm not sure about doing all of that. Man, I got a lot of unfinished work down here. What am I talking about going to do the porch? I'm not going anywhere near the porch. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know about doing that. We'll see. It's going to be a 3. Yep. Okay. All right, and then we have rooms over here that need windows. Windows put in, get this place looking a lot more livable. Just have the one there. That'll look good. Looks interesting, at the very least. Just rotate this and finish this off real quick. Even? Yes, that does. Sometimes I can't quite tell if they're even or not. And let's see. One. There. And there. There. They're definitely going to be smaller rooms. But, oh, wrong way. And this in a bit more. But I think we can still make them look nice. There we go. Right. Have that be. The spacing on things will just be a little different to kind of make up for the different room sizes. Things will be individual. That's what we're going with. They'll be individual. This, yes. Those, yes, I did, except for these. Okay. So, and I'm debating whether or not I want to use the curtains. On the one hand, they do kind of look nice. On the other hand, we have a lot of irregular shapes going on, and those curtains really don't work for that at all. They are very firmly for the 2x2 windows. So, as much as I'd like to use them, I don't think that they're really going to fit. And I really hope that at some point, Red will make them adjustable. Because I would love to put in curtains. And that's just one of those little touches that when you do that, it makes the place look so much more lived in. Do I have a door there? Yes, I do. It makes it look like a home. It just really is one of those little details that really makes a big difference. But with our present options for curtains, that's just not workable. So I'm hoping that that changes soon as well. Okay. That doesn't really. Yes. Okay. I could do curtains on these little windows because these are the little 2x2. but it would look weird to have curtains in this room and no place else, so we're not going to do that. Okay. Turn this back around. Well, that's great. Welcome. The more the merrier. Get this to line up right. Go. There. Has your mother watched you play? It's done. Do I have other irregular? Yes. Okay, I know I have other irregular sized windows. That one's not as big as I thought. Okay. Oh. Almost got the windows on this level done. I have to figure out what I'm doing here. I'm almost thinking a couple of small windows at the top of the stairs and then a big, like a 2-story window there. We'll see. I'm not 100% sold on the idea, but it's what I'm leaning towards. All the same. Perfect. Those. And so are those. Okay, so we've got this little guy here. Shorten this up. Another one of our little 2x2 windows. So, yep, that's good. Here. Did I do a 2x2 in this one? Yes, I did. Okay. Let's see where else I did 2x2. I think over here. Another one. Very nice. Okay, yes, and these are the taller ones. Okay. So, plenty of light. I have to figure out something with the high ceilings because it's going to look really weird if there's really nothing on them. And the strange thing is they're the perfect height for the golden chandelier. That would look really, really funny in the kids' room. Speaking of a golden chandelier, I just had an idea. Let's see here. We can do white, silver, bronze. Oh, I don't think I've paid attention to the fact that you have different shade options for this. Let's do the bronze one. The gold one does look a little excessive, really. Okay, so if I have it right above. Now, of course, this I can't. It doesn't count as a construction element, so I can't just freeze it in place. Do that. If I just left click and hold, that'll do it. I think there. There we go. That'll work. All right, and let's adjust the time. Okay. Yeah, I think that'll work. And then the window over here. So have that come up even. That. The 3. That's a good size space. I'm gonna fill this in a little bit. Maybe starting here. Going up. Then I have to decide how wide I want it to be. Maybe here? I think it should be wider than 3 though. Because that would be a 3-block width. And I think that this should be wider. So let's take out another one. And we've been using those for accents. So let's go. Let's grab that. Yeah. Then, do I want to do one more? How big do I want this thing to be? Because there's a limit to how big you can make the window frames. Let's see what that limit is, actually. We may have already surpassed it. I wouldn't be surprised if we have. But, let's see. Oh. Yeah. That right there. That's as big as the window frame can get. So, if we're to take this out, okay. Actually, that might work because I really don't think we need to go higher. And down on that side. Yeah. I don't quite like it, but this could be where your trim pieces would really come into play, except I don't think a plank is gonna work for this. We're gonna need to do, let's go to the saw bench. I think we're gonna want the beams. There we go. So, up. And if I put it in right there, that takes up a little bit. And then there. Of course, we're going to lose some of the look that we have on the sides here by doing this. Doesn't really want to. Let's freeze that in place and get rid of the grid. Just bring that in a bit. There we go. And then we'll do the same thing here. Ooh. Hey, that actually cooperated. Wow. Might be in shock. Let's see. Go over a little bit more. There. All right. Cats are good at getting all kinds of stuff turned off. Okay, let's go ahead and do the trim here. Let's see, how long a piece do I need? Go back a bit, get a good look at it. And that's as long as it goes, so apparently that's how long of a piece we're going to have. Now, how does that look on the other side? Okay, that could go a little bit further over. All right, that just barely overlaps on all sides. But it's not quite long enough to go under there. So, shorten it up. I wonder if I can get it to treat it as a construction element. Yes. Shorten that. There we go. Scurry over to the other side here. There we go. Okay. I don't really want to do... Well, I suppose I really should do the top. It doesn't look quite right if I don't. Let's bring that over. It does move very slowly sometimes. Okay, we've almost got it. That looks even. Yep. Okay. Now, okay, freeze that in place. And shorten it up. There we go. Perfect. That would be our giant picture window here, basically. Top of the stairs with the chandelier over it. I like that. I think that's a good look. Pull those down. Let's get our little windows up over here. Just a little too far there. Okay, that one. And that one. Not bad. So that takes care of our windows. Now, I need a railing around here. Let's see. What do I have that's going to... I kind of want it to almost match the interior walls. And it's... that kind of seems like the closest, really. And actually, I want logs, not beams. What am I doing? That's very nice, but it doesn't match anything in the house. We're going to go with that one. Now, what do I want for... I could just do the entire thing. Shorten this. Do the entire thing one color. It wouldn't be the end of the world. Make the grid a little bit smaller. I do a little bit shorter, like that, 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 and it, that, that, okay, and then here. Right, that came right to, did I go right to the edge with that one? I did, okay. Then, flip this over. Actually, our top piece should be thicker. Our construction option off there. Now, is going to be a little bit tricky to get it to look quite right. Come up and over. Come up a little bit more, right? Yeah, because that's almost like halfway. So let's come up a little bit more. That. There we go, I think. That looks good. All right, now let's rotate that. And, well, for one thing, it's got to be longer. I don't really want quite that much overhang. There. I think we're gonna have a little bit no matter what, almost. That's good. Okay. Right. This will work. This will work. So, back here. Good. Now we just need this giant long piece. Get it to be approximately the right length, then freeze it in place. Love Forge Craft. Welcome. Welcome to the stream. I'm good. How are you doing? Whoops, that's not going to be long enough. Okay. All right, let's get this one in place. Then I'll put the other one in. Down a little bit. Right there. Okay. I think that looks pretty much... Yep. Go with that. Okay. Shorten this way up. Yes, I will definitely do a tour at the end, which, let's see here. It is almost 11 o'clock my time, so I'm going to be going for about another hour. And then I will give a tour of the build at the very end. Okay. Shorten that up. A little bit smaller. Now, this is another trick that I learned from watching Radio Man. If you click, let's have the grid. Yep, that's going to be pretty center. You click and drag. While you're holding it, you can then use your plus and minus keys to change the distance between your objects, which is really handy. So let's say I want to start there and come across. There we go. Now I have some more distance between my rails, which is really nice because that's one reason that I really haven't used that click and drag feature very often, because it's hard to get the right distance between things. But you can use, being able to use those plus and minus keys really makes things a lot easier. And then it's funny that you have to turn it to get it, like, it's not just the direction that you drag in. You have to actually turn the object so that it's facing that direction so you can drag it. There we go. All right. There is our little railing with the chandelier and the picture window at the main staircase. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay. Let's start work on the wraparound stairs. Turn the grid off. And that means we need to figure out what on earth I used to make this. Let's see. 90. Okay. That's delightful. Block bench. 590. There we go. All right. Now, also going to want the columns. Did I put columns in down at the end? I don't think I did. I think I did. And I'm going to do some kind of lattice work basically around the edge as well. Just to kind of cover that up. And let's see, that's 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we'll do... I don't know if I really want to do 10 all the way around. No, I think I will. I will. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go. 9, 10. And I will probably change the terrain under them as well because it's just not really going to work out that well if I leave it the way it is. So let's go down here. Oops. I would try not to stand in the way. That would probably be extremely helpful. Okay. That lined up and down it goes. Perfect. I'm gonna do stairs down as well along these edges. You've got to have more than one way off the porch. There we go. There. All right. And this will all get custom railings as well. Once it's done. So there'll be custom railings and then something like lattice work. I might not do the actual lattice, but something that's like that to go underneath or go around to cover up anything underneath the porch because that just looks more realistic. It really wouldn't just be kind of this freestanding porch here because you wouldn't want things crawling underneath it. That really wouldn't be very good. But I'll do the lattice work after I redo the terrain. So I'm gonna have to do that. It just doesn't quite look right every place. So I'm gonna redo a little bit of the terrain just around the edges of the porch. I'm not gonna go all the way up to the edge of the house. And the lattice work will help conceal a few of the issues closer to the house as well. That's one of the benefits of having that. It's getting dark again. My, time flies. Time flies. I do have to laugh a little bit watching Radio Man's videos. I have noticed that he has a lot of cloudy, rainy, foggy days, which I don't think we've really had too many of so far in this world. I think it's been fairly nice out, happily. Off the edge of the porch we go. All right, so let's do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think that's 10. Let's double check. Yep, that's 10. Good, good, good. It's a good day when I can actually count without 5 pots of coffee. Okay. All the way to the end. There we go. And there. And then just that extra 2 that we can put in the steps. Oh. I really do like these steps that have the smooth back, but they can be a little bit tricky to get placed. Okay. Get our supports in. There we go. Now, obviously we need more supports. This is thoroughly unrealistic. So let's do here. And I'm not going to worry about counting these out to make sure that they're equal distance apart or anything like that. I'm just going to go ahead and throw in some additional supports, because you would not have a porch with such minimal support. And let's see here. Yeah, so about like that. Right there. Yep, perfect. And then a couple over here. Let's do one about like here. Wait. There. Oops. Not quite there. Thank you. Right about there. Excellent. And then the other one should be somewhere right in here. There we go. Okay. Let's do that too, just kind of right at the edge there. This doesn't quite look perfectly realistic without two supports. Okay. There we go. Yeah. Okay, we do need to add a few more to the front. There's not very many there. So, yeah, I think 2 more on either side. Probably good. About like that. Okay. And yeah, somewhere right in here. That's not. One. There we go. And right about here. Okay. Now, should the roof for the porch match the overall roof for the house? Or should it look different? Because the porch and the roof are not made out of the same block, the same texture. They're close, but they're not identical. I think I want columns on the porch that stand out a little bit more. What would look good with the house? That's the block we used for the interior walls. I don't really want to do that anyplace outside. That's the exterior walls. So we could always do columns out of that to kind of tie it in. And then use the roof column, the roof texture to tie it in even more. That might work. That might work. Okay, so I want columns on either side there. Realistically, let's do this. There. Because I do want the columns to kind of line up. They're going to look different, and that's okay, because there's going to be lattice over the front of these. But I want them to be in the same general place. And I do still need to fill this in, so Let's pull that back up real quick. There we go. Come on. All right. Yeah, I think I will use the same blank, the same one for the roof on the porch as I did the roof on the house. And I'm gonna have to figure out, I want the porch to be, the porch ceiling, I guess, to be pretty tall. I want it to be a pretty open, spacious feel, because after all, we have all this space. I think we should use it. Okay. And I think I want the roof of the porch to overhang the porch a little bit. So that fills all that in. Let's finish columns here. I'm not going to put one there just because that's like right at the head of the stairs. So we're not going to do that. That'll be the only one. And we still have our cow down here, who is apparently trying to get into the kitchen to be butchered for dinner. So we have a suicidal cow. That's a different thing. We're going to move this column here because I think it looks better in the corner. There we go. And that one. Okay, did we get them all? I think we did. All right. Now, that's 6. But we're not really that tall. We're like a little over 3 blocks tall. So, we make these, that's 3, 4, 5. If we do a height of 5, that should let it come back in pretty well. Have a pretty good slope, hopefully. Hopefully. I might have to... Oops. Might have to change it up and do planks for the roof, but I'd really rather not. I'd rather just use the ramp pieces. That's 5, yes. Well, it's going to be interesting to see how I can get the ramp pieces to really connect to this. We're going to start at the front of the house because obviously this is where you're going to want it to look the best. So move our columns out of the way here. Okay. So if we have, it's not going to want to do the second one. So we're going to have to get creative about that. Have this come across. All right. Actually, it won't really go all the way out like that, but that's all right. We'll deal with that. Now let's use this. It's getting dark again. No. Some of it's just the angle of the house. Okay. Down. So here, And I like to use a very contrasting piece for spacing blocks like that, because I know I'm going to have to take them out. So I want it to be easy to remove them. Kind of the rationale behind that. Okay. Now, I might not keep this sloped all the way, because I have the feeling, yeah, it's going to start going over those second story windows. So I think we're going to break it off and have it be flat for the top portion of it. So, let's see, that comes back to there. Yeah, I think that's probably going to be good. We'll go ahead and cut it off there. That is 85. There. I'd like to be able to do a half block if I can. Let's see if it'll let me. Oh. I didn't actually make the half block. There we go. All right. This will be interesting with corners, but I think we're gonna try and pull this off. Okay. Getting close, getting close. Take fly mode off here. Run across our porch here. Yeah, because this way you can still see out of your second story windows. Without anything getting in the way. And I do want to be able to have a view out the second story windows. We could almost have it slope slightly out and then be flat and then slope again. Just to kind of do something a little bit different. Oh. Yeah. Just for the sake of being different. Just for the sake of something different. I enjoy having a few things that look different. Just a little bit of randomness. Something that doesn't look perfectly planned out. Those perfectly planned homes just look boring. They look really boring. There are a lot of new developments that have been going up around where I live, and when you drive through them, you can tell that a lot of them kind of use the same 5 or 6 designs and just try to vary the paint colors, and it looks boring. It's like the stereotypical American suburb where all the houses look the same. It starts to seem like that very quickly. So I enjoy doing these things that it's just a little bit of different randomness throughout the build. Something that gives it a bit of a sense of being an individual. Not a carbon copy of something else. All right, we're getting there. We're getting there. Okay. Oh. All right. So that's kind of the front of it. Done. Now I have to make the other ramp pieces because we're going to have to turn at all of our nice corners here. The front of it's almost done. I take that back. Almost. Okay. All right. So ourselves a little bit of a walkway over here. There we go. Now, flip that. Go. Now we need our inner ramp pieces. Well, it's not technically the inner ramp pieces, it's the outer ramp pieces. Ramp corners right there. All right, go. There we go. There and there. So there's one corner up at the top. Let's go do the other one real quick. The lower corners along the very edges of the porch will be the more difficult ones to pull off, just because of where they are located. That's okay. We enjoy a challenge, right? Some days I enjoy a challenge. Other days I'm like, no, actually I just really want this to be as simple as possible. Most of the time I enjoy a challenge though. Yep. And if you're wondering how I get it to go further out, if you left click and drag, and then you click, you have to be centered over some other block. You can't do this over thin air. But even though I'm not actually connecting it to that block, by going out along that, it will actually place the blocks. It's a nice little way to extend your line of blocks a bit so that you can get further on. But like I said, this doesn't work when you're like out over thin air. You have to actually be like, I can't do that and click on thin air or the mountain over there because it's too far away. I have to go along the line of the house here, but it helps. Little things that help. Oh, and we're close. Okay, let's go along here and give myself a little bit more room to maneuver. Okay. Without, you know, falling off. Don't want to fall off. Falling off is bad. Falling off is very bad. Okay, 3. Take that. We'll go back to this. Take this all the way down. Oh, that did need to go one more. Should have let it. Okay. So now we have our 2 corners here. Now we need corner pieces here. This is going to be a little bit more tricky. So I appreciate fly mode here. Now up. How much space do we have in between these? We have about 5. So that means, we're gonna have a problem with our corner right here. So let's try. This is gonna be tricky because this is, well, we're gonna have to replace that real quick. Because it doesn't like doing a lot of things with a regular, there we go. It doesn't like doing a lot of things with a column there that it'll do with a block there. So have to kind of keep that in mind as you're working on things. You may have to make a change and then come back and correct it later. Okay. And then that one too. There we go. Okay. So now we have our next corner done. Kind of build off that. Go down, we'll get rid of, well, actually, yeah, we will, because we can base it against the corner pieces. So that'll be fine. That back in. Back to here. Turn this way around. And go all the way down to there. While we're up here, we're going to put that piece in real quick. And then we will simply repeat. Go all the way down. Come all the way back. And I'm envisioning basically patio furniture. Some tables, chairs, some place that they can sit outside and enjoy the beautiful air, or keep an eye on the plantation in general. Kind of a variety of different things, but definitely an outdoor area for sure. Okay. Go. I'm debating. No, I think I am going to do it this way. Just because it looks a little silly inside it if I don't. Now, what can I do here? Turn it a little bit. Like that. I don't really want to go all the way around with that. Just that little bit right there. I don't know. You guys let me know if you think I should actually go all the way around with that. Okay. And let's finish those up. Or, yep. Let's get this finished up too. Oh. Oops. Yeah, I'm in the way. Do that a lot. Why won't it let me put this here? I'm like, oh, because I'm standing in the way. Of course it's not going to let me do anything. Go, got that cleaned up. Our porch is taking shape nicely. Of course, we do still have that custom railing to put in, which is going to be a little bit time consuming here. But overall, pretty pleased with it. And I don't know if there is a limit to the blueprint size. So I don't know if I would actually be able to blueprint each one of these buildings that I'm working on, or if that is something that that's not going to work. So we'll see. I might try it. I don't know. I don't know if that'll work or not. Oh, why I got rid of that one. Okay. here. Okay. And oops. Change the time here. There we are. That's better. Came over a little too far on this. A lot too far. A lot too far. There we go. Perfect. Let's just go get rid of all these. Overdid. By a little bit. That's okay. I can do one blueprint per building. Oh, good. That'll be good. Because once I get these all done, I would like them all to be blueprinted because this is a lot of work. I don't want to lose them. So yeah, once the buildings are done, definitely going to get blueprinted. I don't think I made a blueprint of the bridge, but I should. Still going to make a little guard station, oops, for the bridge as well. We're just probably not going to get to that today, I don't think. That could be something, it'll probably be a couple of weeks worth of, well, you know, 2 streams of detail work. And I might do that little guard shack at that time. Because we've got the house to detail. The stable, at the moment, I think that's pretty much done. I'm hesitant to do too much more to the stable until Red actually puts in mounts and we can see what else we're getting with that update. I mean, I would assume that he's going to include things like saddles and other equestrian related items. I hope. I hope. So I want to see how that's all going to work before I do any more detailing in the barn. Because I don't know if he's going to give us other things that I could place instead of just making something. So we'll pretty much leave that alone. But the bunkhouse needs to be detailed. The actual, you know, house here needs to be detailed. And then the other thing I was thinking of doing that I'm now thinking I want to hold off on until he actually adds horses is like carts and buggies. I want to see if we get something kind of like that before I go making anything like that. So we'll see what we get. There'll be a few things that will just kind of sit on hold until, you know, he kind of finishes that update and we can see what our options are a little bit better. Okay. Oh, no. Silly me. And of course, this edge really... Did I do an edge on the other? I didn't, did I? No, and that's exactly why, because it doesn't really match up very well. Okay. That makes sense. Okay. And then we'll just do a couple in here to even that out. All right. Okay. I think that looks good. I think that looks good. So, now, custom railing. Oh, what do I want it to look like? There's a good question for you. do I want it to... I want to match that. So that's 71. Is that... Ooh, this is the same thing we did inside. Let's do that. Let's do that. We'll do maybe a small variation on it. Small variation. And let's see. This is it. That. You, yes. Great. That's good. Great is good. Make it a little bigger than that? No, I don't think I should. I think that's where I want it. Okay, now the question becomes, ooh, that is centered. Good. How high should we go? Shorten that up a little bit so it actually goes into the log there. That's good. Probably a good height. All right. And having the grid on kind of makes it act like you've hit the enter button or return key to enable the construction mode. Having the grid on almost duplicates that, so it's kind of convenient. Really convenient, actually. Okay. We're gonna have to get rid of the grid to deal with this. Come on. Ever so slowly. No, I don't have any music running. So if you're hearing anything, it's just maybe game audio. If that's actually coming through. It might not be. Seriously? Having a wired mouse is driving me kind of crazy. There we go. Okay. And there. Yeah. Well, and I have noticed that the audio will... I don't know if it's as it goes through, as it plays through certain tracks, or if it's just that at times it's louder and at times it's quieter. Can I put porch? Yeah. Yeah, you can go ahead and post a link and then I'll just approve it. It should let me do that. How's that look? That's good. I may need to go one more out on this because it's not really quite wide enough. Get rid of the beam. Pull that back out real quick. Pop down here. Oh, these are the... We don't want that. We want that. There we go. And then... Is it just not letting you post it at all? Don't really line up. Maybe we just make this one width. They're going to be really narrow stairs, but they're not really intended for a lot of use. So that might be okay. You can still get up them. That's really not a problem. And why do we not want to do that? Okay, let's do that. That's why it doesn't want to, because that's a half block. That's okay. That's okay. We're going to live with that. We are going to live with that because I'm not going to go back up there and redo that. So we're just going to live with it. Okay, let's take a look here. Go. Far over, not very. Okay. Let's go back down. Oh, I want to do that. Okay. All right, stay there. Shorten this. Oops. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's not too bad. Okay. All right. We're getting there. We're getting there. Let's go in. Oops, we're going to have to. Okay. To make sure that it stays even. So, there. Right there. Yeah? Yeah, that's even. Okay. Good. Even is good. It is very helpful when they actually stick out through the block, because then you have something to line up with, which is very helpful. You're fine, Fearless. Fine. My poor dog, she's like, I'm bored. Not doing anything fun. My very spoiled child. Oops. Went the wrong way. Did it not let you post the link? That's weird. I thought that it would at least ask me to approve it. Well, you can always send it to me as a whisper. Round. In? Yep, that one in. Good. Alright, we're getting there. We're getting there. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna take that out. And freeze that in place and just shift it right on over. There we go. I just have to shorten this up a little bit. Or, you know, more than a little bit. All right. Again, our shorter stairs over here. And it is, I mean, it's a tight fit, but that's easier. Oh, it just deleted it. Weird. Okay. Oh. Yeah. Pretty much. I'll drop that there if anyone else wants to take a peek. But yeah, that's that's pretty close. I mean, it's going to have different colors. It's not going to be like this is all matching the same color, which looks really great, but it's not quite what we're going to have. But that's the general design concept. Yeah, that's very, very close to what we're going to end up with. Okay. All right, let's go back up. And spin this around. Oh. Be new. Work. There we go. That's better. Not the other side? No, it doesn't. Oh. Also doesn't perfectly match up. There we go. Okay. Perfect. Now, which way? Yep. Start over here. So, obviously shorter. But shorter. No. Not that short. Seriously? Problem is, I want this to be in the center, but I don't want it to be, popping through like that. So, nope, I can't, from there I can't do that. Down a little bit. Still not. That looks like, yeah, see, that's not actually going all the way into the post, so that's not going to work. So what if make it bigger? That's really not going to help. Smaller. That might work. I think. See if we can get it centered. Out like that. Yeah. Okay. I think that looks good. I think that looks like it's pretty well planted on all sides. Go in and change our time again here. Okay. And yeah, I think we're going to have just enough time to get this railing finished and then do a general tour of the build. And then it's going to be time to call it a day. So not too bad. Got the house pretty much done in well, I mean, we did get the house done in terms of the bigger things. So that's good. All of the major construction is completed. So next week, I'll be starting to work on doing some details, making it look like a real home. I'll get some furniture in. I'm debating the windowsills and window frames and baseboards and all of that. Let me know what you guys think. And we'll see. Come on. Oh, not quite straight. That is, right? That's straight. There we go. Because if I go back and do basically the trim, then I'm definitely doing that off camera, because that's like, I could spend an entire episode doing nothing but trim. So that would definitely be an off camera project. But if you guys think it's worth it, then let me know, and I will work on that. Okay. That's pretty darn good. Let's jump off our porch real quick here and take a look. I think that looks pretty darn good. Then of course I'll have to do kind of a lattice on the bottom, but yeah. All right, I'm happy with it. Okay, so let's kind of jump back to the entrance here, and I will wrap things up with a tour of the build so far. We'll kind of start at the beginning over here. And right here, I'm thinking on this side of the bridge, maybe over here, is going to be a little guard shack. So that'll be an upcoming feature. I am really happy with the way that the bridge turned out. I did a lot of fiddling with this, but I think it ended up looking really good. So coming across the bridge, you can see we have our workshop here. This is the workshop and the mine entrance carved out of the side of the mountain here. These, oh, I wish that they were real, but they're not. The actual usable door is right there. And then we have our workshop area here. The idea is that with a large plantation like this, they're going to produce a lot of the items that they're using. And they might actually, like, they might have a herd of sheep that they actually process the wool and make it into cloth or clothing or what have you. So we've got some little storage areas here where they could hang product. Workstations through here, of course. In here is the more secure goods. This is where you would have your raw ores and then your finished ores locked up in here. Locked behind double gates, as it were. Of course, the big furnaces over here. More of your workstations here. And then the area upstairs is all storage, which is not finished. I haven't gotten around to completing this, but it's all storage shelves that will have storage chests on them. You can see some of these actually have the boards across for the chests to sit on, and some of them don't. And then I haven't made doors for these openings yet because I'm debating trying to do some sort of a pulley system so that it looks like they would just back wagons up here and then goods would be lifted straight in, versus this area over here, goods would be like finished goods could be lifted in on a smaller pulley. So that's kind of the thought process behind those. Come down this ladder here, and then here is our mine entrance, a little cart here that has come up and is waiting to be unloaded. And then down the mine here is an empty cart waiting to be loaded and taken back up. I really haven't done any detailing down here. I don't know that I really plan on doing any additional detailing with the mine, kind of just leaving it at being the mine entrance. And then we do have double doors here. You do, of course, have to trigger them all individually, but it does still, I think it still looks pretty cool having those there. Close those all back up. The house here, we've got our servant's entrance down here. Yep. I see that notification too. The cow, unfortunately, at some point is going to have to go because it's really in the way. This will be the kitchen area, and then storerooms in here, and then the servants' quarters down here, a common area, and then this would be like the men's dormitory with the bathroom at the end, and the women's dormitory with the bathroom at the end. And then this leads upstairs directly into what will be the dining room here. And then the hallway here. The first floor is just several little rooms. I might add a second doorway here for the servants to come in through. But we've got several little rooms throughout here. You could have like a, I don't know, a men's smoking parlor, a ladies' room. This could be like a classroom for the kids. And then the second floor that we completed today with the main staircase, large window, the chandelier over that, the larger bedrooms up here, of course, and then the stairs. These do need more detail. They're not really finished. Leading up to the children's rooms up here, which I'm noticing I have not put doors in, so that needs to be fixed. We need doors in our rooms. Go. Spin this around. Thank you. I'm really happy with how it's progressing. I think this is probably the most ambitious project that I've done for Rising World. My last build was good sized, but not really quite so elaborate as this one is. This road will continue off in that direction. I just haven't finished that yet. But then coming over here, we have the horse stable off to our right here. Of course, we still have animals all over the place. I have some of the fields planted. I haven't completed them all, but I do have some planted. So here we have the stables. Right now, I'm just leaving these as open front stalls because I don't know if we're going to get stable doors, stall doors, things like that. So I'm leaving those as they are. Hay mangers here. Water buckets there. Lights at the end of each stall. And then I wonder if the sheep is still stuck in the stairs. Yep, still there. So we've got a sheep here who is smart enough to walk up the stairs, but apparently can't figure out how to get out of them. Wonder if he'll go if I give him a good swat. No, that just takes out a piece of the stairs. That's nice. And then we have storage up here. So giant stack of hay over here, and then just general storage crates on the other side. And then I do have the entrance, or the kind of a loading area here where a wagon could be backed in and things could be lifted up. I haven't decided if I'm going to close off these ends yet or not. We'll see. Again, if I can figure out how to make a decent pulley system, then there are a few different places that I could put that. I just haven't figured out how to make a decent pulley system. So we have kind of the stable master's office right in here, a few random shelves. And then this will be the tack room. So depending on what we get with the mounts update, you could potentially hang saddles over those. Bridles, halters, lead ropes could be hung on pegs. And then, of course, chests for small objects. Basically various grooming objects, really. And then the corrals. Well, one corral here. These areas that just have the one board, this is where I'm planning on putting in larger gates if we get them. I don't know, but that's where they would go if we do. One of the dummy NPCs that I've got ambling around here. And then, like I said, the pastures, I haven't finished the fencing on those, so they're just kind of partially fenced in various areas. The bunkhouse here, we've got a couple of different rooms down on the first floor. The interior construction of this is primarily plank and beam. This is going to be the kitchen area. And then a dining room here. I really like these taller saloon doors. I think they look really great. There's a couple more smaller rooms up here. There's another one of the NPCs wandering around. And here's our other random room. A larger common room area up here. This little thing that I was trying to have a table lamp. And that's kind of about what I ended up with. I'm not really very happy with the handle, but the rest of it's not too bad. Then upstairs, our nice stairs right here. That's a makeshift chandelier. I didn't want to put the big chandelier in here because I thought that it would be too over the top. So I just kind of did that. Then we have the individual rooms for the farmhands. The rooms for the farmhands would be down that side, and then on this side we would have kind of the rooms for the foremen and supervisors. These are a little bit larger. Eventually, I will go and put a third set of rooms up here, a third floor, just because based on the size of the build, I think that it's realistic to have that many ranch and farm hands, because the people who live in the bunkhouse are going to be the people who take care of the animals in the pastures, the crops in the fields, which you can see partially planted, and they're also going to be the people who work in the mine and the workshop on the other side of the stable. So you really do need a lot of space for all that. So that's kind of the plan there. Got our fields laid out here. Definitely going to need another field to go in here. Pastures here, partially fenced in. And then I did the creek. I did the pond over here, and then the creek running through the pastures, because that is how we are watering all of our livestock. Who knows? At some point in time, Red may actually put in the requirement for animals to have food and water. So, just in case that happens, we've got water running throughout. But that is everything that we've completed thus far. And I'm really happy with it. I'm really excited about how well it's coming along. And I think it's going to look really awesome whenever it's actually finished. That's probably going to take a while. I do plan on having maybe an orchard on this side, and then maybe more like walking gardens over on the other side. Just a little bit more decoration. So those are all kind of future plans, along with extending the road out this way. Probably curve it around, come down towards there. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, that's what we've got so far, and that is going to do it for today, folks. Thank you so much, everyone who joined, stopped by, commented, or just hung out and watched. I hope you guys all have a wonderful rest of your week. And if you're really enjoying Rising World, Lady De Winter should be going live here shortly. She's normally on YouTube, but sometimes she's on Twitch as well. So check her out and I will see you next week.